What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Fightful Overbooks, Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. It is Friday, October 13th. Wahahaha. There you go. I scared you. I popped myself for that one. How stupid am I? Anyways, guys, welcome. It's another scary edition of TonyCon Tweets. Coexisting. We are happy you are here. How are you, Maggie?
I'm Rob. Like that's fine. Yeah, happy Friday the 13th. Every now and then, when it's Friday the 13th, because for me or for a lot of people, we will all remember Friday the 13th with the lockdown. It was Friday the 13th on March 2020. The official lockdown began. That's not a fun thing to remember, but I will remember it for the rest of my life. That's not a fun thing. That's a totally different spooky shit that I sorry for saying it in 1 minute into the show. But yeah, guys, hi. Thank you for joining the show. We have quite a ranting to do on our show today. Thank you for joining us. Please, first of all, like the video, share the video on social media. Also, leave a comment after the show is done. Just so the algorithm sucks for our YouTube page right now. Please also send us a super chat. It's the little $ at the bottom of the live chat, and or a humper chat at humperchat.com. If you want your question or statement read, also if you wanted to support us, also please subscribe to Fightful Select. During these weird ass wrestling times, this is probably the best way to support Fightful. Hi, Sean.
Hello, Maggie. Hello, Sergeant Slaughter.
There it is. There you go.
You look like you wrestled in the AWA in the 70s and 80s.
RJ City's a big fan of mine then. So that's good.
Listen, it looks good on you though.
Thank you.
I had to persuade him not to get rid of it because it's so natural.
It does. It looks great on you. It does.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's been kind of a quiet week for you, Sean, on Twitter or X. What have you been doing for yourself during the quiet?
For myself,
bubble baths and everything.
For myself, not a lot. Preparing lawsuits is one of the things I was doing this week.
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes you got to do that when people get sauced and say stupid shit on Twitter, but that's the nature of it. But this week, I'll probably just watch the Kentucky football game tomorrow and then Bengals game on Sunday. I'm actually going to appear on the SmackDown post show tonight because it's shaping up to be a big one. I saw it emerge on Twitter, but I did confirm that there are plans tonight to reveal who is being traded for Jey Uso, at least as of Thursday. So, it wasn't just NXT they're loading up this week. They're supposedly the Nick Aldis thing, supposedly. I've heard there have been discussions of it. There's the Triple H announcement. There is Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso on SmackDown doing an open challenge. Roman Reigns is back. They're going to reveal who got traded for Jey Uso, or they're planning on it. So there's an awful lot that's going to go on tonight on SmackDown. So I was like, yeah, I should probably swing by. I should swing by today and hype that up, and then swing by the SmackDown post show as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. If you were to guess, who do you think's answering that challenge?
Whew. If it's an open challenge, I wonder if they use that as an excuse to say, well, it can be anybody. Like it could be Sammy and KO again for all we know. However, I'm going to look at the WWE roster.
The Creed brothers? Please tell me the Creed brothers.
That would be cool. I would love that. I think they're ready. I think them and Ivy are both ready. Theory and Waller would make sense on SmackDown. I think they're great as a team, honestly. I think Brawling Brutes already has like their own little thing going. It probably won't be the Bloodline. I could see it being a combination of the LWO or the Street Profits. If it's an open challenge, they don't have to be coming off of a win to accept that open challenge.
I mean, this is an excellent way to present the Creed brothers to the like the main roster.
Yeah.
The
I think it
audience.
should be Chelsea and Piper. And Chelsea should win.
Well, the one thing he said, Brawling Brutes are actually facing
Oh, you're right.
they're back. What are their names?
You're right. Pretty Deadly. So it won't be those teams.
Yeah. So it's not them. So like that.
And Cena's going to be on the show tonight. Pretty Deadly's back tonight. My God, yeah, they're adding a lot to SmackDown tonight.
You know what?
This is actually a bit kind of a bummer because I love the vignettes that Pretty Deadly were doing with the injury angle. Like those were extremely gold for me. Like there was like probably my favorite part of SmackDown. I love Pretty Deadly. They're absolutely, because like when you don't have maximum male models anymore, like that's the other really extremely entertaining and goofy, part of that kind of wrestling. And like it's gonna be a bummer to not have it anymore, but like if they're wrestling, I'm always gonna be here for that. Rob, what?
I was gonna say John Cena and Bull Buchanan would be great. Bring it back.
I looked him up the other day for some reason. He wrestled a match this year.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that. Nuts.
Right?
Yeah, he did.
Bull Buchanan wrestled a match this year. Yeah, he wrestles every so often.
Yep. That's cool. Yeah, I'm very excited. Like if everything takes place in Triple H, I was wondering what he was kind of gonna be doing tonight, but I think if the Nick Aldis stuff comes through, I think that kind of tells us what his announcement might be. Maybe not.
Do you guys think that he comes out wearing a wig just so he's not a bald asshole anymore?
Too soon, Maggie. Too soon.
It is not too soon. I was not the one who tweeted it out.
I know. So, okay. So I know, like, you in Fightful Select, you put a story out there yesterday, basically saying what people backstage were thinking about Tony's tweets. And then today you had some more.
Yeah. Well, those hit a lot different because there were wrestlers that were like, well, he's not lying, because while his mom was in the hospital, he had to have a conversation with William Regal, who had very clearly been contract tampered with, had the job prepared, set, everything, and he had to have a conversation while that was going on. So, I mean, the contract tampering thing, it absolutely happened. It did happen. I mean, Swerve Strickland signed his multi-year contract on pay-per-view. There's no way WWE didn't know, and they still reached out to him about possibly coming back. He was very smart about it. So, I mean, like, I feel like before that happened, I think the possibility of a lot of things would have been much more wide open. However, with the contract tampering last year, I can say, regardless of what you think about Tony Khan, sincerely, that one did affect him an awful lot. That if you think he's a villain, that was his villain origin story right there.
Yeah.
Like that specific thing. And a lot of people didn't know what his family was going through. And throughout all that, you had a big change in WWE, and you also had some people that were trying to get their own people in. Now, I know that Triple H had told a lot of people, hey, there's a chance you'll come back, et cetera, but
yeah. And the thing is I know exactly what he went through. Like at Mayo Clinic, my mom was in Mayo Clinic in 2009.
Yeah.
And not having any idea what was going on. So I know exactly where his not knowing what's going on, like outside the world type thing.
Yeah.
Granted, I didn't have a multi-million-dollar business I was running, but I mean, things are different when you have loved ones in the hospital and you don't know what's going to be happening tomorrow or the next day. So,
yeah, okay, but like I have a question. Like he never talks like that when he tweets out stuff about Fulham or the Jaguars. Like you will never see him do that. And like all of a sudden when it's wrestling, hey, you bald asshole! Like,
Well, there are a lot of possible implications for that if he does that with the NFL. Like there are fines that can be
exactly.
levied. Yeah, there's a whole lot of that. There's almost no oversight on it, but to the same degree, and this is something that Rob can speak to as well. In the NFL, there are consequences to contract tampering, severe. Like you lose draft picks and the like. In WWE, they're not going to lose the ability to sign anybody or anything like that. The litigation probably wouldn't even be worth it in that sense. So
Yeah.
it's
Wow,
a
and
lot
everything
different.
like that for American football, jeez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
You-
yeah.
By the way, when you said that, when you quote tweeted that tweet and said when you said something about Dax Harwood, I cackled. Like I laughed out loud because that was, you said how dare you, or something about Dax Harwood, or what did you say? I forgot what it was, but you're like, you said something in regards to Dax Harwood.
Now what
when
was
you- about bald assholes? You said something like,
Oh, I
yeah,
said fight back.
yeah, fight back.
Fight
Dax.
back.
I was done. Like I was, and I was curious. Did he?
I don't know if he ever replied to that actually, but Dax is somebody I'm very cordial with and
Yeah.
get along with, but I don't know if he ever said anything or saw. I'm sure he saw it, but yeah.
We do have a super chat that came in from Will Chisholm. Thank you, Will. He says, with all the TonyCon tweets, some I think it was funny, but now I wish he would have spent more time with the women's division. SRS,
I mean, that's a common thing. Yeah, and of course, yeah, but I mean that's become almost a meme. Wish he would spend that time on the women's division. Like, listen, a tweet takes 20 seconds to fire off. Like it doesn't.
Yeah,
it don't take
that's
that
the
long.
bad part.
he said,
Yeah.
is it true Triple H had a talent meeting?
About what?
Will put it in chat, and was it today or? Caden says Punk was just trying to get spooked.
I've not heard anything of a recent Triple H talent meeting.
Ryan Sullivan, boo, got you. Happy Friday, buddy.
Happy Friday, sweetie. Okay, so in regards to this, so do you think that if WWE wasn't a, what do you call it, a public company, with all the, do you think that, Triple H and like people inside a company will tweet Tony Khan the same way like he did?
I don't think it matters. Look at the stuff Dana White says. And that's who owns or who helps run UFC. They don't care. I don't think they care that much.
Yeah, but like shareholders and everything. Like, I don't know how this
Sure, but I
works,
mean, they've got to answer to shareholders now too. UFC has to answer to shareholders because they're under the TKO banner. Now, maybe that will change his conduct now, which is a good point. But at least then they had no shame. So I would be surprised if that mattered at all.
Yeah. So the who wins tomorrow night? Bryan Danielson or Christian Cage?
Oh, I think Cage wins. I think Cage wins because I don't know that this match was even planned a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I'm about to win because I'm going to eat an acai bowl. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, sir.
No, wait. What's that?
It is. Do you know what acai is?
What now?
It's a purple fruit that is like made it's like sort of in between like popsicles and ice cream type of thing, but it has peanut butter, coconut, bananas, all kinds of stuff on it.
How do you spell? How do you spell that? What? It's
delicious. It's from Brazil.
It still doesn't answer my question. How do you spell that?
ACAI. Go eat some cereal. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
You jerk, I don't have any.
ACAI. So there you go. Thank you, Sean, for joining us. And there you go. So Maggie, basically Sean told us what he thought about some of those tweets, and it's kind of crazy what's going on.
Oh, okay.
So are you okay now? Does that make you hungry?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay. The tweets. I like I don't like the tweets. It's not for me. It's like I get it. It was fun at first because it was the pandemic, like and everything in like 2021. It was kind of getting meh, but now it's 2023 and stuff is different. Like we're all grown up now, allegedly.
well,
Like,
yeah, okay, allegedly. There you
yeah,
go.
okay, allegedly. And I don't think like it's past that point. Like I will never tell anyone how to conduct themselves on social media, like ever. But I actually don't think that he's harming, mm, I I really don't think that he's harming,
No.
because like there are a lot of because something that you Americans don't understand is you know the rest of the world, the majority of us don't use Twitter or X or whatever you guys want to call it. That's not a thing for us. Like I'm one of the odd ones out with that social media. And it's not only that, the rest of the world doesn't use social media as in YouTube. Like they don't follow uh podcasters who talk about wrestling. People like the majority of the world just simply enjoy wrestling without the backstage stuff
Oh yeah.
that we actually take our times out of our Fridays to talk about.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well,
uh
90% of wrestling fans, yeah, I'd say 90% of wrestling fans have no idea what's going on right now, and that's good.
exactly,
And
absolutely,
that's fine. And that's
yes. But like it's
that's the way it should be.
that, of course, but like this still doesn't mean that the people who actually do have Twitter and stuff like that, we enjoy what's happening, because it really, because like we've like you and I, Rob, like we've been here before. When we tell the other person, you tell me or I tell you, do not pay attention to that person who's being a jerk to you. Yeah, okay, I've said this to you. You've never said that to me. Okay.
Joel is in the chat, so be careful. Okay, no, I'm kidding, Joel. I just
Love you, Joel. That like I've said this numerous times to you, because like it means that I'm just here sitting and wondering, how does a person who is as busy as Tony Khan can take time out of their busy day to actually interact with people who are being so awful to you on social media.
Mhm.
Like, and by that, because like Tony Khan, like psychologically speaking, Tony Khan, like the well-being of Tony Khan is directly linked to the well-being of 2 football teams and a wrestling company. Okay, because he's that person who does not want to hire someone to help him book his show, because he always wants to be the number one booker. He always wants to book the show himself. I don't know, is that for the pat on the back or something? Does he so want a Fightful award for best booker of the year? Like, what? Like at this point, I have no idea what that is. Like, why? Like, it's not like you don't get, a wink on the radio for that. Like, it's like, what is that? A bubble gum with a hair in it? Like, what? Like, it's that, because if you are not all here, like, if you're not, like, if you don't have your sanity, like, a lot of people's jobs will be on the line. And being so much online as Tony Khan is, like, this may be endangering a lot of people. And I'm just, like I said from the very start, I will never tell someone how to conduct themselves on social media, because like I've been incredibly online myself. You don't see it, but I have been. And there times like recently where I haven't been as much online as I have been. And let me tell you, it's a wonderful world, like, apart from other stuff, but like, it's a very wonderful world. And at the end of the day, I just wish someone would take his phone. Okay. Like, sometimes it's better, to not
Yeah.
say anything. I understand the need to protect your child, because at this point, this is Tony Khan's child, like AEW. I understand this, but sometimes you're doing way more harm than good.
Yeah. The one thing too is like how you said that. What between Tony Khan like tweeting this stuff out, and then the difference between like he's busy. We get that. Like he has a lot he can do, and then you look at somebody like Triple H, and this is completely different. So I found humor in what Kevin Nash on his show basically talked about how Paul Levesque like handled the recent rumors of the rumors about him getting divorced from Stephanie. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but there were rumors. So Kevin Nash sent him a text. He says, "Hey," he says, "I text Paul and I go, 'You okay? Everything all right? Question mark. I'm here if you need anything.'" Triple H responded. He goes, "What is happening in my life? Question mark." That was Triple H's response. He said, "Well, social media says you're splitting up with Stephanie." And Triple H's response, according to Kevin Nash, was, "Fuck it. I wish somebody would have told me before I got dragged to this JV football game where my girls are before my girls are cheerleading at." Yeah. So I just found that like rather hilarious, because I could actually completely see that happening, where it's like, oh, well, I wish somebody would have told me so I didn't have to go to this damn game. So, that just shows, I mean, I get it. Like, and who are we to tell somebody what they should and should not be doing? I get that completely. It's just, I think it makes you a lot better. Makes you look a lot better when you're not doing this, in my opinion. But that's my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, in chat, let us know what you guys thought about this Tuesday show. NXT, AEW Dynamite. I thought Dynamite was a fantastic show. I thought NXT.
Did you go?
I did. Like from like ring action, yeah. I rewatched Dynamite, and I rewatched NXT, which I never do.
You watched Dynamite, and then you decided you needed to watch another time Dynamite without cringing?
Because I wouldn't say I was in a bad place Tuesday night, but I just wasn't paying attention to much. Like, and I realized Wednesday afternoon, I go, I don't remember a damn thing that happened. Like, I mean, I remember like results, but I don't remember who won or what John Cena did in the Braun Breaker match, stuff like that. I knew somebody, like, I go, was Jimmy Uso there, or was it just Solo? Like, I couldn't remember just tiny details. So I went back and watched. It wasn't bad. Granted, I had NXT on mute, so that helped. So I didn't have to hear Booker T much. So it is what it is. But I didn't mind it after watching it a second time.
Both shows suck, Rob.
Oh, okay.
I did not enjoy either of the shows.
That's different hearing that from you.
Yeah, I had so much high hopes, and this is the awful thing here.
I agree with that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
It's okay. So if you, I'm sorry. Can you please just talk so I can cough this out?
No, I'm gonna go to what Keyshawn said there. I love Bryan Danielson. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Bryan Danielson guy. Always will be. Swerve Strickland, I would have loved if he would have won that match, because it would have told me a lot going in to this match more with Christian Cage, because I would have been like thinking, I honestly don't know who's going to win this match now. but I could totally see Edge costing Christian, where Swerve would win. But now, like with Bryan Danielson, I don't see, kind of like Sean said, I don't see it changing like much. I could actually see Swerve taking that title. That way they can build with Edge and Christian more, and they don't have to have a title involved. Swerve can hold on to that TNT title for a while, and it'd be fine.
The stupid thing is that because Brian has 1 year, right? Left, wrestling.
That we know of, yeah.
That we know of. Okay, so I was hoping that he would go on a winning streak and not lose this entire year. And during this 1 year, he would be the one to dethrone MJF. Like, he would be the one to take that title away from him, because I don't want him to retire from wrestling when he hasn't held the AEW championship. So I wanted the only time that he was pinned during that 1 year was to the person that would dethrone him as AEW champion. Maybe we still have no idea who that person is, but like, this was my vision of things. I do think that, like, the only way this could happen was if Swerve gets attacked and gets DQ'd and Bryan Danielson loses the match by not actually getting pinned or submitted.
Well, I see in chat, like, Soupy put that maybe he has bigger eyes set for the world title, which I'd be completely fine with that. But
That's completely fine. But like, getting pinned for a title and then going straight to a bigger title, like, I will always have a problem with that.
Yeah. So okay, so here's a question for you: do you look at the international title bigger than the TNT title, or do you look at the TNT title bigger? I look at the TNT title being a bigger deal.
Yeah, but like, the international title is getting defended almost every week. It was when Orange Cassidy was a champion. He's champion once again. So it might as well get defended on television every week, and that's what makes it a good title, and a title that people look forward to and want to be champion, because like, that's the TNT title was big when Cody did the Open Challenge all the time.
Yeah, and the thing too, the thing too about like what Orange Cassidy is, part of the reason why he wrestled every week was like the demos and the ratings. He had good numbers.
He also put over a lot of people
and merchandise, as somebody pointed out in chat. So I mean, there's a lot into it, but as far as like the title goes, I look at that title has changed hands so many times now.
The TNT title?
Yeah.
Well, actually, both titles have changed hands.
True.
Like, having in mind that the international title has been around for less amount of time, but it was in the hands of Orange Cassidy for a huge duration of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, the only reason why it went back and forth, with Phoenix, Moxley, Phoenix, Orange Cassidy, was because like, Phoenix was never meant to have that title to begin with. Like, he was injured even before having the title, like that.
Yeah.
But like, we'll get more into this. I started, doing my thing where I, talk crap about wrestling shows.
Yeah, but to be honest, you don't do that much. Like,
yeah, I know. Like, maybe, yeah, but like, this week was kind of different because it's. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't all here when watching the shows, but it's. If both shows were in their individual night, if NXT was a regular show on a Tuesday, and if Dynamite was a regular show on a Wednesday, those shows would have been absolutely different, and they would have been way better. Like, because this type of competition, NXT and AEW, brings out absolutely nothing from the good out of of each other. Like, those shows in direct competition don't bring out the best in each other, from what I can remember. Because, so of course, cool, NXT was an incredibly sports entertaining show. I'm not gonna sit here and claim that I didn't have fun watching NXT, but like at the end of the show, well, that's about it. Because none of this shit will matter next week. Like next week, if next week Braun Breaker comes out and challenges The Undertaker to a match at WrestleMania, I will eat my words, okay? Because like I hope that this leads to something, because after watching NXT, I was like, The Undertaker's gonna have another match. Like, listen to what I'm saying. Like, you cannot tell me that The Undertaker is absolutely fine with his last match being a cinematic match and him retiring in the Thunderdome. I am absolutely sure that The Undertaker is not okay with that. Like, he wasn't okay with his last match being, like one of his last matches, okay, being, as horrible as it was. Then he had to make, 4 more last matches and like whatever. You cannot tell me that this man is okay with this kind of ending of his career. I don't know if this was true, but the rumors backstage that he was talking to Shawn Michaels, and he was like, hey, I have my wrestling gear on, like, here with me, and Shawn Michaels like, you're not gonna need it. And yeah, I was like, well, you never know.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it's I can absolutely hear that, see that happening. But this has happened this year, on multiple occasions. Like The Undertaker, a lot of people see it as giving the rub to Braun Breaker. I did not see it whatsoever like this. I feel like he wiped his ass with Braun Breaker. Like, that's how I see it. Like, in this entire time, I felt like WWE were so incredibly high on Braun Breaker, and like they couldn't wait to see how he develops in NXT, just so they can see if he fits on the main roster. And to be perfectly honest, I would love him on the main roster, because what we got this week on NXT was a potential Paul Heyman guy. And this was something that we were pitching before WrestleMania. Because before WrestleMania, because we thought that Braun Breaker was debuting on the Raw after WrestleMania as a Braun Breaker guy. As a Paul Heyman guy. And him being the one to dethrone John Cena after John Cena beat Austin Theory for the US Championship. How differently did that play out? How far we were from the truth. So
what do you think of what do you think of Heyman?
That was something I was gonna go into. I was laughing a bit, because like you would know perfectly well what he was talking to Ava Raine about. You didn't have to do the obvious showing of your bloodline case on your phone.
Yeah,
that was so goofy. And I was like,
was.
why would he, like, is he selling that iPhone case? Like, because it's I kind of feel like he is. Why wouldn't he? Some people were like, oh, maybe that's the thing that gets The Rock on the show. And I'm like, yeah, okay, like The Rock will be cool with her being in a cult, But he was like, "Oh hell no! Like don't 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 you go into the bloodline, which is family."
Yeah. No. The
No.
yeah, it's I thought it was kind of funny too. I did. The I mean, going back, it was good to see Roxanne Perez go in a match with Asuka.
She is so lucky because like she got Miko Satomura, a while back, and now she gets Asuka. Like how like over the moon must she be? And she did really good. Like he hung in the ring with Asuka. She did with Miko Satomura as well. But the right person won here because I kind of feel like they're jobbing Asuka all the time on the main roster, and I was like, well, like, okay, I can see Roxanne losing here, but if they actually give Asuka the loss, what the actual fuck do you do with Asuka after that? Because like I've been asking this question a lot.
Yeah.
I just want to know what you do with Asuka because like it's absolutely like showing that you probably don't care about her. Like I had faith when Triple H took over that he was about to like you cannot tell me that most of us didn't think, well, Vince McMahon is in charge, of course she's gonna gonna get pushed, because like she's not that type of female wrestler that Vince McMahon will traditionally push. But now that Triple H is in charge, I thought that well, in charge, like I have, I don't have all the knowledge if he's actually, the one to, but like he's pretty much there. I would have hoped that, something happened and her coming back to the Rumble as Kana, like that also left a bad taste kind of in my mouth because like again nothing happened because like when you repackage someone and they return and they wander again, like there's no coming back from that. Yeah. Some other good stuff from NXT, like as a whole, I'm not gonna lie, it like the shows were good, but it's just not gonna matter for NXT. Like
This
it's
week.
like,
Yeah, this week. I mean, it's this week we know like NXT was just kind of throwing it was like what they would call it, kind of just throw a Joker card out, like a wild card. It was just like this week doesn't matter per se. Storyline wise, it really didn't matter. Is the way I looked at it.
yeah, but like it was okay. I just had like 1,000 thoughts in my head at the same time. So if you were going to sell a show to a person who only watches Raw and SmackDown, like a wrestling fan who always and only watches Raw and SmackDown, this was gonna be a show for you. Okay?
Yeah.
This week's NXT in no way gave a present to weekly NXT viewers. In no way. Because like what they got were main roster talent that they see on Raw and SmackDown. Because I would assume that people who watch NXT watch Raw and SmackDown. I will assume, like I'm maybe wrong. And the Undertaker returning, who will bring out casual viewers, not viewers of NXT, casual viewers, just so they can see who the Undertaker choke slams or whatever. So the regular NXT viewers have been, watching storylines develop or not, or not, like for weeks and weeks on their show, and now they sat down and watched the show that basically did not matter whatsoever. Like this, are you okay?
Yeah, just hearing like I don't know if it's like thunder outside or
Voices in my head,
Yeah,
they come
yeah, no.
to me. They come.
what.
Sorry.
Storming outside, so I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
So.
Doing RKOs on flies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you get my point?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay. So, like that was, of course, like I said, it was an incredibly sports entertaining show. Full stop. That's it. But like, it didn't matter.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how many people end up watching NXT. Maybe they got some new viewers. Maybe it's possible.
Yeah. I hope that people, like all of these people who watch NXT this week, because NXT have not done numbers like this in a long, long time, like in an incredibly long time. I would hope that all these people who watch NXT come back and watch NXT the next week, because this is something that matters. Because if you were WWE and only did this just despite AEW and not for making people come back and actually watch your show, like that's a bit messed up.
Oh, that's all they did it for. That's all they did it for.
Yeah, okay, like I understand, but like having in mind that AEW, like they were on Wednesday and NXT was on Wednesday, like that's fine. But like then NXT went back to Tuesday. That's absolutely fine. And Tuesday was NXT's night. But then AEW went to Tuesday, like not on Thursday or whatever. They went on Tuesday, So like AEW, like WWE have the full right to do whatever the hell they want and to put on the show. They would, like, in my mind, NXT was always gonna win that night because it was their night. Like this is not AEW's regular night. And like I said, a lot of people don't have social media, have no idea that Dynamite's going to be, on Tuesday. Like they're like people who are absent from social media and have no idea. And just like their lives don't, evolve around wrestling like ours. Okay. Like it's not like they actually have lives, Rob. And and everything. So moving to Dynamite.
We got a super chat.
No, it says a super sticker.
Okay. Sorry, Will.
Yeah, like we cannot see the super sticker, but like that's absolutely fine. Thank you, sweetie. Concerning Dynamite. Okay.
You got the same problem now, huh? Okie dokie. All right. So as you can see, for our new viewers, we like to hear things.
So I happen to know that a lot of good things happen on Dynamite, but for me, everything got overshadowed by the one incredibly stupid and dumb thing that happened on Dynamite. And I basically do not care for the rest of the show apart from this, and it was incredibly stupid, incredibly dumb, incredibly tone deaf. And it took everything out of me. Like it took the air out of me. Like I felt deflated. Well, even more deflated than I already was. So it's okay. Let's talk about
hold on. Are the cats banging outside again?
No, it's not the cats. I feel like my neighbors are having a really fun time.
Nice. Go take your camera and let's find out.
Fightful select.
Yeah, fistful select.
Fistful select. Okay. So because I'm someone who does not live in the States and I don't get the picture-in-picture stuff, I had no idea what Toni Storm was doing. Because from what I understand, she was reacting to, the commercials that were going on in picture-in-picture. I don't get picture-in-picture, and I was like, what am I watching?
Oh, sure.
I have no, because like I see Toni Storm doing stuff, and it makes zero sense. I'm like, this might be the first thing that Tony Storm has done in this character that is not working for me. And this is incredibly weird. And then I'll go online. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Okay, that's absolutely fine, because like she was the one to actually cue the commercials in the middle of her match, which is so great. Like, I love that. Her character is amazing. I love everything that she's doing. Hikaru Shida won back her championship from Saraya. Why did Saraya have it in the first place? Was it just to have a feel-good moment at All In? Like,
Yes.
that was probably it. Because like, the only reason why I thought that she had that championship was because of that. And because I don't know if you guys remember, but I was attending All In.
Yeah. You were there.
And yeah, I was there.
Nice.
So during that match, the entire stadium, the moment she won, they lost their shit. Each and every one of them, they fucking get in there.
Give them the business, okay?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't like this. This doesn't make
She
jumping out of my seat and
Yeah.
crying. And I was like, why is this happening? Like, I understand, but like, Will Ospreay got a win. Isn't that enough? Like, yeah, so that was weird. The stupid thing was that at that exact press scrum that they had after All In, like, she was, I cannot wait, to defend the championship and show you what I can do in the ring and everything. And she had like one match.
Yeah. The thing that I did not like, obviously, was the same thing with the AEW Dynamite that nobody liked, was the quarters thing with Juice Robinson.
Oh, I have to talk about this.
No, I know. The thing that I want to like get out there first is Juice Robinson. That's not Juice Robinson. That's not Juice Robinson at all. That's Juice Robinson doing this character that they are MJF is doing the story on. This whole thing is just awful. We know that. There's so many things that like just are not okay with this, but it's just something that I know a lot of people say, like, why now? Well, why at all? And I know I know MJF is talking about like how it played a part in his life, and I hate that played a part in his life at all. I hate that should have never ever happened. The world we live in, it should have never happened. We know that it just shouldn't have, and I hate that anybody had to go through that. It just makes me sad that somebody had to go through that. And I know it's the real world type thing,
It's
and
the sad world.
Yeah, and it happened. Now the thing is how do they escape it? How do they? The people do not need to be mad at Juice Robinson. In my opinion, they don't need to be at all. That's my opinion. They well, people can feel how they want to feel, but I think it was just all done in poor taste. I think it was just in what's the word I'm looking for? It was dumb as hell. It was.
Thank you. It was incredibly dumb as hell. Like, this did not need to happen. Like,
the thing
whatsoever.
The thing is like what I said about Juice Robinson there is I've heard nothing but positive things about Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson's one of those guys that I've heard positive stories on, that he would never do anything to hurt a soul.
Mhm.
And so I guarantee you that. Well, see, I even like I'm trying to think what to say because it's judgmental from me because I don't know I can't really say how other people feel because I don't know. I'm not ever in their position, so it's dumb for me to say, but it's because I can't say how somebody might feel about it. But I just wish it would have never happened in the first place. And there's a ton of things that WWE has done too, and I'm talking about this week with what is going on. Does it get extra attention because of what's going on in the world? Yes, absolutely it does.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're talking about it. Now, I've seen people say, well, WWE used to do this stuff. Yeah, WWE used to, and we were too dumb not to say anything then. But people want to watch wrestling to get away from some of that stuff, and they don't want to be reminded. And that's really all I wanted to say about it, because it wasn't good, and I hope they can. I'm confident because MJF is a brilliant wrestler, and he's a brilliant
Yes.
mind, and I think that I'm confident they can work around this and figure out a way to escape this. That's just my opinion, and yeah. Go ahead, Maggie.
Okay, so basically what Rob and I have to say about this at the end of the day has absolutely like it doesn't matter. If you want to learn, if you want to find out firsthand, go and listen to what Jewish people have to say about this. Like these are the people who you need to be listening to. Like Rob and I just share, our, thoughts on the matter. Our thoughts don't matter. Like the thoughts of Jewish people matter, in this situation. So here's what happened. Okay, like I was watching Dynamite. The segment was happening. Even let me just say, even without this horrible thing that happened, the segment was still crap. It sucked. Give me my belt back. No. that's basically what happened. So as the segment was happening, and I was like barely keeping it together, and I'm like, okay, what's happening here? And so Juice reaches into his pocket and gets out something, and I'm like, he better say immediately what that is, because it actually looks like a roll of quarters. So he better say what it is right now, because it looks dangerous. And then he says that it's a roll of quarters, and I'm like, oh, what? It's actually a roll of quarters? And that is, right in the middle of the week that so many horrible things are happening, or much, I don't know, many things horrible are happening, and they suck, and those are people who are dying. Okay, they're losing their lives. Civilian people are dying, Rob. And not only that, but this is happening like a couple of weeks after a fucking dickhole had a sign in the audience, hey, MJF, I dropped a bunch of quarters. Like that douchebag in the audience, I so hope that he got what he deserved, because that is so stupid. Like, how can you live in 2023 and be this uneducated? Like, that's another thing. So if you're a Jewish person and you say that didn't bother you, and you see it as sports entertaining, that's fine. And on the other hand, if you're a Jewish person and you say that this bothered you and you feel offended, you're also right. Because you're allowed to be insulted, you're allowed to be okay with this. But let me just say that a lot of people said it, and I will say it back. MJF is not the leader of Jewish people. Obviously, it's one thing for MJF to give you the red light, the green light, to make fun of the fact that that his fiance left him, and it's totally because this affects only him, right? Because his fiance leaving him, breaking off the the engagement is one thing. It's a totally different thing, to talk about something that affects a huge percentage of the Earth's population during a time where these exact people are suffering. It is so incredibly tone deaf. Like I like if you want to learn more about this entire situation, I will tell you one thing. After watching this show, go to Fightful Overbook's channel and watch In the Weeds from Wednesday. Joel talked about this at length, and I respect so much the fact that he used his voice to experience like his emotions, and I am so like I just want to hug the guy. Like you have no idea how incredibly uncomfortable I felt during this entire segment. And I'm not a Jewish person. I'm really not. And I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't be watching this. I do not want to be watching this. That's not entertaining. That's cringy. Like that's incredibly, I don't want to watch this. And it took everything out of me. Like Dynamite, like for me, I want to erase that entire episode of Dynamite because of this. Like, it's okay if you guys think that I'm exaggerating, but I'm really not. Like, I'm allowed to feel uncomfortable, even if I'm not a Jewish person. Like, it's not like I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's fun. I hope that no one thinks it's funny because it's really not. It's just like go and listen to Jewish people talking about this because like their point of view matters. Again, not ours. Like like they're like listen to Joe Pearl, listen to Ariel Hawani, like go like listen to the opinions of these people. Like they're the actual ones that are involved. But like it took the air out of the entire room for me. Like I don't know if you could remember, but that entire audience, the moment where Juice showed the roll of quarters with the Friedman written on it, they went silent.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they didn't boo or anything. They didn't share. No. They went silent.
Yeah, they did.
And it just shows you just how uncomfortable they felt.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're going to move on from Dynamite now. But so other than the one thing I'll say on Dynamite, we now have Danielson versus Christian Cage tomorrow night on Collision. So that I'm actually very excited to see this match.
Am I allowed to rant about one more thing? It's not
sure,
about
go ahead.
this.
Yeah,
okay. So Powerhouse Hobbs, right? I am so glad that he's been pushed to this caliber. Like he's with Don Callis now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Where the fuck is Miro? Like, why are you... Let's WWE this. Let's have, a feud between two people. One of them will win, and one of them will lose and get pushed. The other one who won the feud would disappear. All the fucking time. All the fucking time. Hobbs lost the match. It was the meatiest match in meaty history. It was so meaty that the crowd wanted me to be slapped all over the entire show. Miro won the match. Miro is nowhere to be found. Let's push the guy that lost the match. Again,
Sorry, I'm laughing with you, not at you.
Me, I understand. This isn't me being, upset that Hobbs is getting a push. I adore Hobbs. I want him to get as pushed as, like, being with Callis, like, it'll get you to a main event. Like, that's what I'm saying. And people will pay attention to Hobbs because he's an amazing wrestler. He needs to be where he is right now. But it doesn't mean that what the actual crap? He won the match, okay? He won a match at All Out. Where is he now? Like, he had, a couple of segments out there with his wife. She threatened him, with other people who will be her clients, or whatever. And then they disappeared from Collision, like, nowhere to be found. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what? All the time. I swear to God, all the time. Buddy Murphy loses an entire feud with Aleister Black on WWE. Aleister Black disappears. And what do you give Buddy Murphy? The tag team titles with Seth Rollins. Of course, he gets a push. He lost the entire feud. Previously, on, an episode of NXT UK, Jordan Devlin, aka JD McDonough, like, he had this incredible feud with Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate comes out as the winner, as the match of the year in 2019 for me. Tyler Bate versus Jordan Devlin. What an awesome match that was. It got Triple H a standing ovation. He gave him a standing ovation and everything. Such an incredible match. What happened? Tyler Bate disappears for 6 months. Jordan Devlin, Cruiserweight champion. Sure, of course, yay! Like, at this point, why isn't Kenny Omega, AEW champion? He's lost a bunch. Like, why isn't he a champion anymore? Like, why isn't he getting pushed to the moon? Like, what?
Yeah, Frantic's right. Tony's watching this show right now, and he's like, you know what, Maggie's right.
Sure. Like, what?
All right.
I cannot be the only one who's upset about this. Like,
I'm not.
Like, the entire Twitterverse who were so in love with Miro. Oh yeah, where's Miro? Like, give him where's Miro? Like, he won that match. And all of them are silent right now. Like, where the fuck are you at, guys? Like, why is no one ranting about Miro not being on the show? Like, why am I the only one? And I actually don't use X anymore as much as I used to. Like, I would rant a lot. I would probably want for someone to clip this, put it on social media because I don't anymore. Like, what the fuck? Where's Miro? He won the fucking dude. Oh!
Soupy, you know what you got to do.
So, moving on.
Okay, yeah, let's move on. Where the hell were we moving on to? I already forgot. Anyways, you know what? Let's just go on.
Bryan Danielson against, we were talking.
I was going to ask you who you got winning this. I think we talked about it earlier, but I Christian Cage is going to retain.
Christian Cage and Bryan Danielson. I feel like Christian Cage. Okay, so you know that.
Sorry. You know how I am. I'm like, I have arachnophobia, and I thought I saw something, so I was like, what was that? I don't know.
Yeah, and you decided to move your laptop around a bit.
Well, I thought it was on my computer, so I kind of got, me, creeped out for a second.
Is there a spider? Am I going to see a spider walk in front of the camera?
We'll find out, because if you see me going the other way, we'll know.
We'll know, yeah, and I'm going to have to carry the show, yeah. So, okay, so I know you're bothering me. So, like, are you going to kill something?
I'm bothered. Well, we'll find out in a few minutes.
Do you have a flamethrower? Like, you can.
Well, I have a flamethrower, but I only show that on my OnlyFans page.
Yeah, okay. You can plug that shit later.
Yeah.
So
that's actually the name of it. OnlyFans.com/plug that shit later.
Plug that shit later. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So moving on. Adam Copeland and Bryan Danielson have a history together. From that WrestleMania where they got stack him and pin him and whatever, like whatever that
Yeah.
That, yeah. Yeah, and Adam Copeland was a little bitch around the entire thing, but like that's fine. So I can see him getting involved here. I really can.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, like that makes sense.
Well,
Thank
I mean,
you, sweetie.
they did it before the show. Ah,
Probably on Twitter or whatever.
bastards.
Yeah. So I can see Copeland getting involved here. To what capacity, I have no idea. I feel like Christian Cage will retain here, but I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys, for the audio listeners.
Okay. Well,
Is no one gonna say "bless you, Maggie" or
bless you,
"Gesundheit"
Maggie.
or
I was
whatever? Thank you.
well, I was never mind.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's
So, Christian Cage probably retaining. I have no idea how Bryan Danielson will come out from all this. I did mention at the top of the show that I kind of do want to see him on a winning streak until his last match and he ends up, putting over another talent. What, are you still mad about this?
Yeah, well, I went to look because I thought it was just like maybe that they tweeted it like instead, like they were like maybe it was Waller or Theory that said it, and like not WWE.com, but then I see the fucking graphics already done for it, and it's like, I don't want those two ass clowns challenging.
Well, come on, it's gonna be a good match.
Hell with them. I'm pissed now.
Great, I'm gonna have a really fun half an hour.
Show's over. Good night.
Show's
See you guys
over, bye.
later. Yeah, bye. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Maggie, let's go on to something good. You ready for Cooper Effect?
I am.
All right, get ready.
Sacrifice! 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 Sacrifice!
Hi, I did that one on purpose.
I hope there is a spider in your room, okay?
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
I mean, that will forever be Nessie, okay? Like, that's the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me anything, Guys, a 3-year-old wiener dog gave birth to 11 puppies. Like, I can... Look at the cute little doggies. Like, got them all. Like the cute little noses and the eyes and everything in the ears. Oh, they're squished forever. Look at them. Oh, my God. I'm sorry for making weird ass noises, but like, how cute is this? Like, I can actually say nothing more about this. Okay, 11 puppies, possibly a new world record, a 3-year-old dog. Okay, oh look at this one right almost in the middle of who's already has gray hair because he's probably the 11th dog. And he waited for so long in the womb to be born. he got gray hair. Jesus. You can interrupt me anytime you want, Rob, by the way. Like, because I'm just going to keep talking. Rob? Oh, okay. You're eating popcorn. That's fine. It's microwave popcorn, too. Like, that's the worst kind. Yeah. So, the 3-year-old wiener dog. We love puppies. We love dogs and like whatever. Giving birth to one thing is incredibly painful and what the fuck. So 11 times that is like must be a new world record. Like how big her tummy must have. Yeah, please, Rob. There you go, Alan. There you go. Yeah. So. Did you swallow?
Okay.
Come on. It's not fun, okay? It's not, isn't it? It's not fun, right? So now you know.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think about the puppy?
Oh, I love the puppies. I love dogs. When you were talking about, I was like naming each one, like which one I would name. So,
Okay, so which one was Rupert?
the fourth one in the middle,
Okay,
towards the middle.
so sweet.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess either way is
Wa-
towards
the-
the middle, but from
Was
the
the
left
popcorn
side,
good?
it's not bad.
It's microwave popcorn. It sucks.
Not all of it's not. I mean, it
It's
gets the job done. Right?
incredibly bad for you.
Well, we have two super chats. Let me get to them. One is they're both from Chris. One says Chris Mueller says TK seems to forget about Miro every other week. He does.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for the support. You are one of the good ones.
Puppies. This one's from
Yes,
Jerry.
puppies. Yeah, I was so incredibly sure that you're gonna love this. Chris, every now and then, Chris makes me feel better by sending me, videos of puppies, and I cannot express just how helpful they are, Chris, sweetie. I hope you realize just how much you're helping all the time.
Animals are good. They're better than people.
Yes,
But I
we
think
say
we
that
all know,
every
I think
week.
we all know that.
Yeah. Every week we say this.
Hmm.
Hey, where is Meiko Satomura? I know we talked about this an hour ago, but where is she?
I don't know. I think
Is
she's
she
just,
back in? Is she back in? In Asia, back in Japan?
I honestly don't know. I just know she hasn't been on the roster and hasn't been seen in Orlando. She's just inactive, I guess. Anyways, so with this episode, we're gonna kind of do it a little bit different, and I'm just running this on the. We're having like an on-air production meeting. Let's just go ahead and do the previews, and let's do the rest of the show like kind of like a Q&A, if that's cool with you.
Absolutely fine.
All right, so SmackDown preview, since we've already talked about it a lot tonight, taking place in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at the BOK Center, BOK Center. Season premiere. Roman Reigns returns. Triple H is going to appear. The Brawling Brutes are taking on Pretty Deadly. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso have their open challenge. And that has
against Grayson Waller.
Dip and shit. I mean, yeah, sorry, Grayson Waller, and I actually like Grayson Waller. So Austin Theory. So there you go. And then tonight on Rampage, took place on Wednesday night or Tuesday night in Independence, Missouri, at the Cable Dahmer Arena, not named after Jeffrey Dahmer. Daniel Garcia and 2.0 taking on the Hardy and Brothers Zay. Sky Blue versus Emi Sakura. Trent Beretta taking on Jay Lethal.
That's going to be a really good match, by the way.
I bet. Blackpool Combat Club taking on Gates of Agony. Claudio and Wheeler Yuta, that is. And then the AEW Collision preview taking place in Toledo tomorrow night at the Huntington Center. We have two matches that are announced so far that I've seen. Ring of Honor World TV Championship match. Willie Mack, who I absolutely love, taking on Samoa Joe. Good for him.
Big meaty man slapping meat.
Yep. And then, as already mentioned, the TNT Championship match with Bryan Danielson taking on Mr. Christian Cage. So,
what do you think the women's match here is going to be?
In the Collision match, or
yeah. Do you see Toni Storm having a match? Because of this, do you know? Oh man, that's probably a question for Sean. Do you know how much time Jamie Hayter needs? Because I kind of feel like she's been gone for 7 years now. But
I think Sean said before that they don't think she'll be back this year.
Yeah, I know it's not going to be this year, but how much longer?
Well, I mean that I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, that just tells me that it's a few months out. So
I miss Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, I do too.
I felt like she was the one women's character in that locker room that made people give a crap about women's wrestling in AEW. You know?
Yeah.
because
true.
like because I'm not saying that women like Mercedes Moné wouldn't have done the same thing, but like it's a different thing when you're Sasha Banks, right? It's a totally different thing. And when you're Jamie Hayter, some people would like to look at her as a as an AEW original, right?
Yeah.
And to be an AEW original and make people tune into women's wrestling because of her, because she is the one, in that match. That's saying something. Like that's has, has more weight, to this entire situation. I miss her so much. She's so good in
Yeah.
wrestling and stuff.
No, I agree for sure. So, guys, we're gonna do something different. So basically, free super chats in a way. If you have any questions, throw them out there because we got about 15 minutes to kill. So throw them out there. We'll answer them. But Maggie, so what do you think Triple H's announcement's going to be? Because I don't really. So there's been rumors online about.
I hope it's him, giving more clarity for NXT Europe. I know it's not gonna be because I feel like people don't care about NXT Europe. I'm actually the one who constantly asks about NXT Europe.
Well, it's only one time zone. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, that's why.
Sorry, inside joke, guys. But
yeah. What do you think it's gonna be?
Well, now that Nick Aldis is probably involved with tonight's show, I think it's the announcement of Nick Aldis authority figure.
Do you think he's gonna be an authority figure for a certain show, or because the fact that NXT right now doesn't have an authority figure is weird to me, because who gets, I know Shawn Michaels is actually, the one in charge. We all know that. But in kayfabe, who's the one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that I don't know. I mean, that I don't know. I really don't.
I'm glad that we're about, to have a little more clarification surrounding the exchange for Cody, who goes to SmackDown. I'm glad, because it kind of felt like that entire story got people forgot about it.
Yeah.
And by the way, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso being champions right now, I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. It makes zero sense.
Yeah.
The only thing that is absolutely hilarious in this entire thing is the press conference with Cody and Jey Uso. Please, if you haven't seen it already, go and watch this. Yeet! Yeah. It was probably, I watched it 2 times already, by the way. There isn't a minute into this entire, there's probably, 7 minutes of them. There is not a minute that is serious in this entire scrum, whatever, presser or whatever you guys want to call it. Every time Jey Uso speaks, Cody Rhodes just loses his mind.
Yeah.
Jey Uso does Jey Uso does everything in his power to seem not drunk. And Rob, I know that we talk really we don't talk about this. I've been drunk a lot of times. You've been you could quit drinking a long time ago, but we both have tried not to seem drunk. But it is so impossible. And one of my bosses, the one who has the alcohol problem, and he refuses to say that he does have an alcohol problem. I know I'm smiling now, but I'm not smiling every time he's drunk in my bar and I'm working in that time. Because he decides that he tries to look and sound so sophisticated. he's a simple man. Like he doesn't read a lot. Like he likes playing video games. Like he doesn't, like like sounding mildly intelligent isn't something that he looks forward to. Like he always, like he says so himself, I'm a simple man, like I only have a high school education and everything, which is fine. High school education is absolutely fine. But like he's not, like he sometimes he forgets simple words like we all do, but like he has a problem explaining to me what he wants to say. Like he's a really simple person, okay? Again, not a horrible thing, but like every time he gets drunk, he decides to sound incredibly sophisticated, and this backfires so much because even when he's not drunk, he could never pull sophistication off. Okay, like that is so, and he starts talking in this posh way, and I'm like, fucking stop.
So
you do not sound like that. You do not talk like that. Stop.
Yeah, no, I have a friend like that too, like that does that acts like that, and it's just kind of just like I just kind of like over time I just kind of got like whatever. I just got used to it so much that I just stopped caring. I guess I don't know. Frantic says, "What was when I did drink? It was Jack and Coke for me."
Oh, for me it was tequila. I adore tequila so much. Like that's I kind of miss it sometimes. Like I quit drinking more than a year and a half ago. But oh yeah, being a bartender and not drinking is a really hard thing. And I'm not talking about, because the temptation of all the alcohol there. No, I don't give a crap. Like I'm strong like that. It's not that. It's the fact that people are incredibly drunk and I'm stone cold sober. Like that is the problem. And when they're being buttholes to you, and when you're drunk, like at least as drunk as them, like I'm not saying stinking drunk, just like party drunk. You don't give as much crap as you would normally do, and you handle the situation way more correctly in a bar kind of way. But like when you're stone cold drunk and a butthole is being a butthole, you tend to be pissed off a lot and want to punch things more. And when you're drunk, you say, "Hey, cheers," like whatever, and then you brush it off. When you're sober, like that doesn't happen. Like but it was absolutely tequila or vodka, like all the see-through alcohols, like all the all the alcohols that have a color, that they don't do it for me. Yeah. Like gin, tequila, like that's the stuff.
Frantic says Nick Aldis should be wrestling. He's a lot younger than half the WWE roster.
That he is.
Fong says War Games. That's the announcement tonight. Dawn says splitting the tag team titles. I'd kind of like that if they did that.
Ooh, I would hope so. I would absolutely hope so. Because like the tag titles being together, like I hated that from the very beginning.
Keyshawn says they botched that face turn and made Britt turn face too. That was the hater.
Yeah. Britt hasn't been on TV as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were so sure that we were gonna have a blood and guts match with the women. We're not gonna see that. Like they were building towards that. Like, do you kind of feel that Jamie Hayter being injured is what actually prevented them to do the blood and guts match?
Yeah.
Because like the Outcasts aren't a thing anymore, so you can't do that.
Yeah, that's why I think too. We got another super chat from our good friend Chris. He says, "Why did Barry Horowitz want an ATM card? Because he was desperate to get a pin." I'll be here all week, folks. Well played. I've told you my Dudley one right before the Dudleys.
Yeah.
What did Bubba say to Devon when they worked at McDonald's? Test the fries.
Yeah, you
I did. I know. I thought of something.
did tell me this before.
Okay, I thought so. So
Yeah, I know.
let's see here. Keyshawn says, I think Jimmy and Solo win belts tonight. Okay, so you're thinking that there's some kind of. I would be okay where they beat the shit out of Austin and.
Yeah, before
Grayson.
the match,
Yeah.
Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, they beat them up,
There
and
we
then
go.
they will be, and they will actually be the one to, to answer the challenge. Yeah, but like, I don't know. I I'm not happy with Cody and Jimmy being tag team champions.
I just want
I'm
to do
just
press
not
conferences every show now. That's all I want.
like that. Yeah, like if every time they're supposed to be on my television, they just play that press conference after the show, I'll be absolutely fine with that because like I feel like that was the peak of their entire, tag team.
Could be, yeah. Keyshawn says Roman will press Jimmy about thinking he's the one that calls the shots.
That is something that needs to be addressed on the show.
Yeah.
Because like Roman Reigns is here, and what has been happening throughout the entire, I'm just incredibly happy to see the champion of all champions back on my show. I kind of forgot he existed.
I didn't. Damn it! I was gonna say Ellsworth is back, but that joke would have fell through, so I never mind. I had it, I lost it. James Ellsworth. You miss James Ellsworth? James Ellsworth?
I don't.
No, I don't either.
He beat AJ Styles. I will never miss him.
Yeah. How dumb is that, by the way? God. Hey, another super chat. Thank you, Will. He says, I get on Tony about the women because Willow and Ricky Starks won the Owen Cup, and look how Ricky has been booked, and look how Willow has been booked. But I'm biased to Willow, though.
No, I cannot look at how Willow is booked because she is not booked. I know that you actually meant that, Will. Thank you, sweetie, because I adore Willow so much. And if you cannot see how happy the fans are every time Willow gets to the ring, she has that charisma that you would want out of your wrestler, and you still don't use that. What?
No, I'm just gonna say if you want to get people to watch your show, you have Prince and Nana and Willow go out there and just dance it out. They would freaking kill it. They would just do it. Maggie, it's time to plug your shit.
And Miro twerking in the background.
Okay. All right.
Book it, you coward. Guys, you can follow me on X, Twitter, or whatever at Maggie_IK, and on Instagram at Maggie.IK. Thank you.
Guys, you can follow me at Rob Wilkins on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram at Fight for Rob, and on Threads at Fight for Rob. I believe on Sunday we will be doing My Point Is on the regular Fightful YouTube channel, and eventually we will be bringing back Coexisting After Dark, I'm sure. Not sure when, but it'll probably be back. Next week's show, we will be doing predictions for Bound for Glory. Is that it?
Glory.
Yeah, Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory. So we'll be doing that. So yeah, we'll be talking about everything that went down this week. Hopefully, we will not be talking about Tony Khan tweets. That's what I'm hoping for, and you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, you have the SmackDown season premiere tonight. You have Raw season premiere on Monday night, taking place in Oklahoma City. So gonna have maybe we'll see some more stuff. They'll announce some stuff tonight, I'm sure, on SmackDown. So that's gonna be good stuff there, pal. Maggie, what you got planned for your weekend other than work? Anything?
Sleeping, hopefully.
There you go. Sleeping. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate you. Because of you, we get to do fun stuff like this. And we want to say thank you to Jesus, freaking fly. Fightful Select members, thank you so much for being a part of this. We appreciate you so much. And because of you, we get to do fun stuff like this. We'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.